The Mud Peddlers, a podcast where two nerdy ceramic artists share the behind-the-scenes of their worlds of clay. We're your hosts, Lindsey M. Dillon.
And I am Donte of Earth Nation.
So, before we get the episode started today, we have some exciting news.
We have exciting news.
Super exciting news. Donte, what are you doing?
I'm walking over here.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Okay, tell them we have exciting news.
Okay, we have exciting news.
And we have a sponsor!
We have a sponsor! Oh my god!
We have a sponsor called Found Familiar. They're pretty much D&D themed coffee.
It is really good coffee. Like, low-key, I'm gonna pull on my ties as a former barista and say this coffee is fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's like if we ever told you, like you should watch this anime. It's really good. You should probably watch the anime.
Well, I mean, that's a little different, I'd say, because like people have different.
No, Lindsey, we know what we're talking about when it comes to anime.
But some people like slice of life. Some people want to watch robots fight each other. All I'm gonna say, though, is that I believe that coffee can be objectively good. Anyway, so at some point in this episode, y'all are gonna hear us like do our little ad voice and talk about some stuff. But we're super thankful for Found Familiar.
But we're gonna have a discount code for you guys. Mm-hmm. But we're also gonna put that within the ad at a later time. So when you hear the ad, you'll hear the discount code as well.
Yeah, and it'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll plaster it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Everywhere. All right, so now that we have our exciting news.
Now that we everywhere, coffee juiced on you
all
everywhere.
over our face.
All over. Beans on my. What's wrong with us?
I don't know. I think we're perverts, Donte. So today we're going to be talking about Imposter Syndrome, and this is huge.
Yeah, this is a large one for me because I think everyone has some type. I think Imposter Syndrome is more of a scale, and everyone has it on some level. But if I were to go through my own motions, I'd be like, I ain't got Imposter Syndrome. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not that great. But I also know I've done a lot of work to get good. I'm not unrealistic with myself.
Huh. Well, let's hear the definition that Google tells us of imposter syndrome.
Okay, let me read it real quick. So, imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like fraud. It disproportionately affects high-achieving people who find it difficult to accept their accomplishments. Many people question whether they deserve accolades. I don't know what that last word means.
It's like honor and praise.
Oh, I see.
Basically.
So it's basically, so I read another definition of it earlier, which was, I feel like that's a good definition of it, but the other one was basically like, you don't agree with people's positive perception of you. Where it's like, people see you as, you've done all these things, and you're like, no, I'm not that good. Basically, you know,
that's
like,
literally what you say though, Donte.
Yeah.
Like you're basically just like, no, I'm not that great.
Well, see, here's the thing, is that like, I think I'm just being very realistic within the world of ceramic artwork. But if I were to, like, what's that book with all the mental illnesses in it? The DCMI.
Oh,
DCIM.
yeah.
That's what I'm asking, I don't know.
I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about. Like the official book of...
Like mental illnesses.
Yes.
Right? And like, if you read like Imposter Syndrome, they would check my ass off that list so quick. They'd be like, yeah, you got it.
Oh, okay.
They'd be like, you checked all the... It's also in like high functioning or perfectionist people.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would check me off a list real quick. But like, the reason that I bring this up is because there's a person, which I'm sure many of you know, his Instagram name is Old Forge Creations on Instagram. On his stories, he does these like really thought-provoking questions, and I always fall for them because I love him so much.
Oh.
And I left him like a paragraph this morning of like, here's what I think about myself and imposter syndrome.
What was the question that he posed?
Well, so hold on, I might have to look it up real quick again. Yeah, there it is. It says incoming imposter syndrome polls right there.
Oh, okay.
And then he asks, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome?
Oh.
Right.
94% say yes, 6% say no. And just for some context, in case like y'all don't know who this person is, they have like 130,000 followers. So I'm inclined to think that 94% is more than just like a handful of people saying that.
I'm the 6% that said no.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
But you just said that you had it.
I refuse to go to therapy.
Oh my God. Okay, so genuinely I'm confused though, because you did say that they would check you.
They would check me so fast.
Basically, so you said, no, you don't have imposter syndrome here, but then you just admitted to me that they would say that you would have imposter syndrome.
They would say that I have it. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so
like,
you're just
like
in
I'm in denial. Yeah, I'm in denial. I'm just in denial. And then the next question is like, has it changed over time? And then I put about the same because 0 times 0 is 0.
Okay.
And then it says, do you feel like it's helping you improve whatever you were feeling about it? And I put no, right? But he like asked an open-ended question where you can message him at the bottom here.
And it says, was there anything specific that helped you reduce the imposter syndrome?
Right, and I again put, he asked another question, but it's kind of neither here or there at this point.
Okay.
And I had put a very long paragraph, and I want to hear what you have to say about it first. Have you ever had this kind of?
Oh God, yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
tell me how that feels so I can like.
Well, okay, so I think the biggest ways that I've experienced it is mostly just that sense of like, no, I'm really not that good. Because we get so in our heads with our work and because we're seeing it up close, we...
Yeah.
Okay, I'll speak as myself. I basically see, my work up so close and I can see the little ways, I can see every little flaw,
right.
I can see every little thing that like I wanted to do but I didn't, or things that I need to work on. So for me, it's so hard to like step back and see how I've grown as an artist overall sometimes, or to feel like I meet that image of what a skilled professional ceramic artist is.
Okay.
Now, I will say that has like gotten better over the years. Like I think I have less imposter syndrome now, partially just because I think that monolithic idea that I had in my head about what this grand accomplished ceramic artist is, I've kind of realized more that that's not really a realistic expectation or a realistic vision. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important to preface by saying that like I am a woman and that generally speaking, I know, shocking.
What the?
I know. I'm sorry to just like, dump this on you, but yes, I am a cisgendered woman.
You're a woman?
I'm a woman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I don't really care.
Yeah. Anyway, but the reason I bring it up is because I think, at least from what I understand now, again, I don't have a specific study to quote on this, but my understanding is that in general, women tend to experience imposter syndrome more than men do.
Right.
A good example, actually, to bring this up is that there have been studies looking at what kind of jobs women apply to. And this specific study that I'm thinking of that actually comes from a TED Talk.
TED Talk.
Yeah. But it talks about how women will only apply for jobs if they meet 100% of the qualifications listed within the job description.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Even as a dude, I'm like, no, I met 3 of them bitches.
No, exactly. But that's the thing, is that they showed that men will apply to that same job even if they only meet 50%.
Yeah, because like it's a competition, and like if I'm the final choice, you picking me whether you like it or like, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But there's this sense that like I'm not worth it. I can't apply for it.
That's insane. Do you have that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that.
Oh, see, yeah, this is fascinating.
Yeah. No, I don't have that because like if you list off 12 different things that are qualifications for a job and I have like 9 of them, my brain goes, I'm picking up those other 3. During the job, I'm going to learn how to do those other 3 anyway, because that entails the job. And if I want to keep said job, I'm going to learn it.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have the degree for that position, whatever equipment you're using or whatever method you're using in order to do whatever you're doing, I'm going to learn it there, And I think that's just how my male brain works, is like, it's survival. Like, I'm going to do it even if I don't know how to. Either I'm going to learn or I'm going to get kicked back to start beginning.
Yeah. And for me, that sense of getting kicked back will sometimes stop me from doing things. Now,
really?
Yeah. Now, admittedly,
it's like rejection. Is it?
Yes, it's the idea of rejection and the idea of not fulfilling my promises. One of the biggest areas where it came up, where looking back, I'm actually really glad that I pushed through that sense of imposter syndrome, was actually working on the dish sets for Insight, because that was my first job where I was basically making sets at that scale, and sets in general. Like I had made cups, I had made plates, I had never made a cup that sits in a plate.
Right.
Like a saucer before.
Right.
So I knew that I was prepared enough to do it, to be able to do it.
Yes.
But it was terrifying because the whole time I was like, am I doing this well enough? Are they going to be happy? Am I going to disappoint my client? And is that going to leave a black mark on my record as an artist?
I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, as I went along through the project and every time I checked in with my contact for that job, they were like, this is looking great. We're loving what you're doing. We're getting good feedback. And then, ultimately they hired me to make a second set for another one of their cafes. So it's
that's so nice.
Yeah. So for me, that, in some ways, that positive feedback and getting through a situation where I experienced a really high degree of anxiety and fear of not meeting expectations, that helped me work through that sense of imposter syndrome, because I was able to go, okay, I may be feeling terrified and inadequate, but clearly I must be doing something right.
Right.
Because my client is happy.
Because they like it.
Yeah, because they like it.
So I must be doing something.
Yeah.
If I just, even though I feel unqualified to do what I'm doing, they like what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yes, even though I might feel unqualified, I kind of experience both the fear of being unqualified and recognition that I am qualified, because if I wasn't qualified, they wouldn't be happy. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes that makes sense in the same way that, like, there's some days where I make a mug and I'm like, I'm shit. I'm horrible. I shouldn't be able to make. And I look at other Instagrammers and them. I'm like, they're so much better. I don't understand why I'm the reason why you should be able to throw kids in the river like 300.
Oh my God, no.
They shouldn't have let me. And then there's some days where I make like a brand new glaze and I weigh out the gravity and I put the notes on glazy and other people are testing it, and my latest YouTube video got like 3K in a day.
Yeah.
And my belly's full of steak and I'm like, I'm a god. And I'm listening to Kanye. I don't support him no more, but I'm listening to him. I'm listening to Drake now, and then I feel great. But like, I think that makes sense, because some days you're gonna feel on, some days you're gonna feel off. But it's so interesting to hear that, like, you have like kind of like the opposite of what I have, where like if I say I'm gonna do something, my brain goes, I could probably do that. But your brain's like, unless I can do it, I'm not agreeing to it.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
That has gotten better, but if there's a threshold for me to agree to something, I have to be like at least 70 to 80% sure that I can do that thing.
Oh, for me it's like 60.
Yeah.
Because if someone, it's kind of like making a teapot, you know,
Yeah.
when the way that I was taught in ceramic art school, or at least in college ceramic art class, was like, okay, a mug is just a tall teacup with a handle on it, okay? And a lidded piece is really just a bowl that you put a lid on, right? I'm teaching
And the lid is basically a bowl that is trimmed upside down.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Right? And then you make a teapot. And so what they teach you is kind of to do it in steps, and that's kind of how my brain works as well, where it's like, okay, so what's a teapot? Well, a teapot is really just a tall bowl with a lid on it, which again is an upside down bowl, with a handle attached. You should have learned to attach clay in the handle form with a spout on it. The only new thing you're learning how to do is put a spout on it.
Yeah.
That's what a teapot is. So my brain kind of works in that way, where it goes like, can I do X, Y, Z? I could probably do A, B, C. Only the nuance stops me. Only like that I didn't account for this, like, stops me.
Oh, yeah. But it's also kind of like, in some ways, impossible to anticipate what those oh shit moments are going to be, because, you know, again, you don't know what you don't know. And until you find yourself in that project and you have to work through it, that's the only way that you can think. Like I remember one of the biggest oh shit moments I realized was that, like, you know, when you think about shrinkage rates, I didn't think about the fact that plates are going to shrink more in their width than they will in their height.
Of course.
So that when I was like trying to make the saucer indent big enough for the thing, it shrunk more than I anticipated, because it's like, of course, a plate is going to shrink. Anyway.
No, that makes total sense. People don't even account for shrinkage.
Yeah.
I think the people that really understand the shrinkage in clay bodies are the people who make like 2 feet tall things, and they put it in the kiln. Like, why is it like 1.5 feet tall now?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, you really get to see it. But we're making mugs and bowls, so our shrinkage rate isn't seen unless you really measure it.
But I had to for that project, because again, if you're making something that, I mean, even for something as small as like an espresso cup, if you know that it has to hold like a certain amount of fluid ounces, so now I'm glad, because I know that, okay, if I need to make a cup that holds 12 ounces, I know how big it needs to be in its greenware, so that by the time it shrinks, it holds 12 ounces comfortably.
And that's experience right there.
But that, anyway, that's a little bit of a side note. Okay, so your experience with imposter syndrome, how does it show up?
I mean, I suppose I have all the symptoms of imposter syndrome, but at least the way that I perceive it is that I'm very, very realistic with myself. And because of that, whenever someone gives me praise that I feel is undeserved, it's not as though I feel it's undeserved. My brain just goes, yeah, it wasn't that hard. You know, I get a couple people who, in my DM, like, I'm not over here flossing, but like, I get a couple people who are like, you're so great, thank you so much. My response usually, I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I'm glad the videos are helping you with your art journey. You know, I'll leave people a smiley face, a heart, to let them know I see their messages. But every now and then, someone's like really, really riding me. And every now and then I have to kind of temper their expectations of me and be like, I'm not that cool. The amount of times I have told people in my DMs, like, I'm not that good. Granted, I am good. Like, let's not get that twisted. Because, like, I have practiced my art form. I make my own glazes. I've made a lot of my shapes. I know how to work with certain clay bodies. Like, I am quite experienced for someone who doesn't have a degree in ceramic artwork. Okay, I've met teachers who are like, how the hell did you do that? But at the same time, while you see me and you think I'm amazing, I've met gods in clay. So when you look at me and you go, you're the best. Not really. I'm fairly realistic about my abilities and expectations in comparison to the rest of the clay world. And because of that, when someone gives me credit where I feel like it's undue, or someone gives me more credit than I deserve, my brain doesn't go, oh, you don't deserve any credit. You're not that good. My brain goes, no, you deserve some credit. You do the work. You just don't deserve that much credit. You know, like, I'm very realistic with myself.
I have some, I don't know how to, like, I have a couple different thoughts as I'm hearing you talk about this.
That's what I mean, because I hit all the symptoms.
Well, kind of, like, because what I'm hearing, what I find interesting about the dynamic you're explaining is that you're saying that you're very realistic about your feelings about yourself and where you are in your art.
Just about my accomplishments in general.
Yeah. And yet you compare yourself to gods, which I admit is hyperbole, but part of me is kind of thinking like...
Not really, to be clear, not to compare myself to gods, to say that I'm lower than other artists, and that's what I'm comparing the gods to.
Yeah. In this metaphor...
I'm not comparing myself to a god.
Yeah, but it's like the gods of the clay world in terms of like the artists who have
the upper stratosphere of
it's interesting because part of me wonders if those people kind of feel the same way, because I feel like imposter syndrome is this weird dynamic where it's both created by people looking up and reinforced by people looking back down the skill level, but also looking up at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense.
Yeah, because like when you start out...
You've made a scale.
Yeah. When I started out, like I had this vision of, again, what the grand accomplished ceramic artist looked like.
Okay.
And that was an unrealistic expectation. With where I am now, I still find myself looking up at that next tier of artist while also recognizing that, like, I guess, well, kind of like you. It's like I recognize that I have skill, I have developed my craft, and at the same time, how do I explain this? I'm not.
It's very difficult. Let me give you something.
Thank you. Yes.
Let me give you something that I think.
Help, Donte! I cannot think.
Let me give you something that I think you've given me before. That's something that I now have in my arsenal. Right. I think to say that someone has imposter syndrome because they realize that they're not as good as they can be in the perception of how other people see them is to set up a false dichotomy. Is to say that, like, I believe I am where I am because I deserve to be where I am 100%, or to say that, no, I don't deserve the credit that you're giving me because I am where I am because of outside factors. And because of that, I think it's a scale. And if I were to put myself on that scale, I would put myself on the low end of imposter syndrome on that scale. Just because when someone goes, oh, thank you for the video, I really needed it, I appreciated it, my brain doesn't go, oh, it wasn't that great. My brain goes, yeah, I created it for you. I made it for that reason. I made it to help you in your art journey. That's why I made the YouTube channel. That's what it's there for. Oh, it was so great, it helped me so much. Good, it better be. I did that shit on purpose. Right? But there's not a large part of my brain that goes, I don't deserve that credit. My brain rightfully so doesn't My brain rightfully so doesn't very cockily go like, oh yeah, of course you need that video. I'm the shit. It just goes, good. That was a tool that I gave to you. You needed that. I did it on purpose. I understand I'm getting credit for it. It's not as important as you're making it seem, but it is important. I'm very realistic with my own standards. I don't think I'm number one and number two because I'm the shit. I'm just saying, like, I'm okay at what I do. I'm fairly skilled at what I do. I'm very realistic about my abilities. When I get better, you'll know, and I'll realize it.
Is there anything that if someone were to come up to you and say, I want you to do this project, is there something, like, what is the line where you'd be like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough?
I've done that before. Somebody came up to me and asked me to make like a 3-foot tall, one of those vases that you would see like usually in like Chinese restaurants, like the red and gold emperor.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told them very simply, I was like, number one, that'd be very difficult for me to do but I will do it. I probably can do it. Number 2, this is how much it'll cost you. And number 3, this is how long you have to wait. And they were blown away. They were like, why is it going to cost $3,000? And why do I have to wait for 4 months? I was like, because the tools necessary to make that are so astronomically hard, and the skills and the experience to make that one item handmade is so difficult that I'm gonna fail like 3 times before I make it, and there's a high chance that it's gonna fail. Like, it's handmade. At this point, just buy a slip cast one for $1,000. Like, realistically. I've had to turn down commissions because I've been like, I can't do that. Somebody before had asked me to make a sculpture of, I think, a Mickey Mouse character.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, like on a mug, and I was like, I can't do that. And they're like, what do you mean you can't do that? Like, you're the best. Like, they're like, you can do everything. And I was like, no, I can't. I've never practiced that. I can gain the skill required to do that, but you're going to have to wait a long time. You're going to have to pay me a lot of money to do it, number 2.
Yeah.
And number 3, I don't enjoy that. I don't want to do it. It's not fun. I don't like making Mickey Mouse characters on mugs. Like, I just...
Also, Disney would come after you.
Yeah, also, I don't know. Like, also, my brain logically goes, I can do that, but in order to do it, it would cost so much effort I don't want to.
Yeah.
And also, realistically, at this very moment, I can't do that. I don't have those abilities. And, like, I'm not going to pretend like I do. And that I think there has to be a scale.
Yeah.
There has to be a point in which everyone realizes at a certain point, like, I cannot do that to the level and quality in which you want me to. Yeah, because if you can do everything, then you have a real issue. Then you think you're forever awesome.
Yeah. I guess there is a difference between, like, recognizing where you are without feeling like you don't deserve where you are.
I think that's the crux of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Is that you don't recognize your own accomplishments because of some, like low self-esteem, possibly. And like...
I think part of it too is experience. Like as I'm thinking about like how my experience with imposter syndrome has changed over the years, because like right now it's not really something that comes up very often, but it used to come up a lot.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is just having enough experiences under your belt to have as evidence, because it's like when you start out, you don't really have much proof to be like, no, I do have this skill. I do have this like thing. When I was in my early 20s and kind of just having just graduated and like coming back and being like, okay, I'm gonna be an artist now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's just really hard.
Hyperventilating.
Yeah. It's really hard because there's this, you know, like you don't have the evidence under your belt that you can see easily for yourself to show that you have these skills. And you probably still have this unrealistic expectation of, you know, what an artist looks like. So it kind of reminds me of another story that I heard from another Sacramento artist. And she talked about how she first started describing herself as an artist. Because for a long time, she didn't really consider herself one. She, you know, and this kind of, again, gets into like, okay, what does it mean to be an artist? But she always kind of felt like, no, like, I'm not really an artist. You know, like, yeah, I make these things, but no, I'm not like an artist.
I'm not like a...
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that like eventually how she started calling herself an artist is because she was at like a dinner party and it was really loud and really bustly and she didn't have the 2.5 minutes to explain what she does. So she ended up just saying, I'm an artist.
Panic!
Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense. You and I have gone through it in that like, I remember there was a time where you were like, we're professional artists. And I was like, Lindsay, I'm not a professional artist.
And I was like, Donte?
Yeah.
We're professional artists.
You were like, Donte, we're professional artists. And I was like, I don't feel like it. And you're like, look at the numbers. You're like, come on, we're there. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess so. I guess that's one time in which I could say I definitely experienced it.
Yeah. Part of where imposter syndrome still shows up is like, how we describe ourselves. Because for me, like, frankly, my mom is always the one who's like, Lindsay, when you're writing about yourself, don't forget to say you are an award-winning professional ceramic artist.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, to me, I'm like, no, I just make things and yeah, sure, I've won some awards, but it's like not that big of a deal. And my mom's like, no, like, Lindsay, you are like...
Is that imposter syndrome?
I think that's imposter syndrome.
I have that!
Yeah, see? And Donte is out of his denial now. But like, that's where I think it shows up, because there's this sense that like...
I have so many awards.
Yeah, you do. And see, I don't even know half the shit that you've won.
I use them as coasters, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh my god. Jesus.
I don't give a fuck about your analysis of me. I care about me.
Oh my gosh. But that's the thing, is like that kind of stuff it's important. And I think again, that begs the question, okay, who is it important to? Who are we doing this whole thing for anyway? But even though I have overcome, to some degree, the imposter syndrome of, oh, like, I don't have the skills to do this, or I can't learn the skills to do this, more where it shows up now, which again, as I'm working on my website and getting better at and more used to describing myself as a professional ceramic artist.
Yes.
Like, but I still run into that anxiety around like, if I talk about myself as an award-winning professional ceramic artist, people are gonna think that I like exhibit internationally and that I'm always in these galleries and et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, but that's so I feel like, I don't want to like falsely represent myself.
Yes.
But saying that I am an award-winning professional ceramic artist is true. I have won awards. I do this professionally.
Right.
But there's this, again, it's like, oh, but I don't match that definition of this world-class artist who exhibits in galleries and does workshops abroad and like all this, like...
Well, if galleries contacted us, then maybe we would.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really how...
Crocker.
It's not really how it works. I mean, we've been...
How about it?
Oh my god.
Run up. I'll deliver it to you like the UPS truck.
Oh my god. This podcast is supported by Found Familiar Coffee. Found Familiar is an online coffee company selling specialty coffee inspired by tabletop RPGs. Every bag sold helps them fund and support artists, content creators, and other small businesses within the realm of tabletop RPGs. Found Familiar offers a wide variety of coffees in both whole bean and ground form, including decaf options. Try Thieves Cant, their secret blend with artwork by Anna Zee and Sara Zunda, regular Gnoll, their modern espresso with artwork by Jessica Nguyen and Bob Q, or even Cartographers, a South American blend created in collaboration with the Mistress of Maps, Deven Rue. Samples are available to help you narrow down your favorites, and 5-pound bags are on the way for warlocks in desperate need of a caffeine patron. Mud Peddlers listeners get a special discount. You can go to foundfamiliar.com/the Mud Peddlers to get 10% off your purchase. You can find the link in our show notes.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to find a coffee company that like serves the nerddom that we are while at the same time also serving the caffeine addiction and the artist addiction that we have, because they do kind of go hand in hand while still having quality stuff on both levels. You know, it's not like they were like, oh, we put Pikachu on a can of coffee, buy our crappy coffee.
Yeah, honestly, before Found Familiar even sponsored us, I bought like 5 of their little sample bags. It's really, really good, and as a former barista, like actually having high quality coffee is really important to me. But even if you're not like a professional barista, it's really easy to make coffee at home. So Donte and I are gonna do a video on his YouTube channel for those of you who have maybe never brewed coffee at home, but you like D&D and you like coffee. Who doesn't like coffee? Crazy people don't like coffee.
Okay,
anyway.
so here's another question, right? Here's another question, and I think this is the way that I identify what I would call my own imposter syndrome if I were to fully admit, which I haven't, listener at home, don't get too excited.
You literally just did like 2 minutes ago.
I don't remember this. I'm in denial about that too.
Okay, right.
But like, so when you win an award, do you feel validated in your accomplishments? Or even, if I were to splay it out, your effectiveness in the art world?
I think it means...
Yeah.
It's hard because in some ways it does and in some ways it doesn't. It does in the sense that in my experiences where I have received awards for my sculptural pieces, I feel proud of those pieces because I know how much I put into them. So when I get an award, it's kind of like a, oh, holy shit, I'm not the only one who sees something in these things. So it's not, I'm worried about this sounding arrogant, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel like it's more confirmation than it is validation now, at least. When I won like my first couple of awards, I was like, oh my God, I feel validated. But as my relationship with the art world has changed and I put less weight on the art world in terms of defining my success.
Oh, yes.
I don't care as much about winning awards, but I do acknowledge that winning awards gives me a social perception of being accomplished.
Gives you a little bit more clout in the art world.
Yes, yes. And but admittedly, it's like that plays into what it means to be successful. How about you?
I get what you're saying, but just from my own experience, when I was a young warthog, when I say young...
When I was a young warthog! I'm sorry.
It's funny because I look like one of those.
You're missing the tusks, though. That'd be pretty baller.
I would love tusks.
Right? Wouldn't that be so cool?
I want tusks and a tail so badly.
Wait, what kind of tail? Like dragon tail? Like long, slinky tail?
I want a I want a monkey tail.
Like a monkey tail. Yeah.
So I could use it for stuff. Don't worry about it. So, in my eyes, this is gonna sound so arrogant. I don't like showing up to my own awards even when I receive awards. Half the time.
Oh my god, that's so insulting.
I know.
Donte, you can't do that. You have to
it all the time.
Oh my god, Donte, you have to be there. That's so rude.
Nope.
Oh my god.
I actively don't show up all the time.
Oh Jesus. All right. Well, tell me why.
So I should probably go back to the fact that this is probably a learned behavior from my previous master of martial arts, Master Robinson, where what he would do is every time I got a belt, like a new belt for a like went from white to yellow to whatever to green, he would make it very clear that like while you had that yellow belt on, you still had the experiences of a green belt.
Oh, okay. So he was basically
yellow.
saying that, like, even though you have a yellow belt on, you actually have the skills of somebody higher than you.
Yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't for him to kind of embolden me or tell me that I'm better than I think I am. His reason for, like, anytime he won an award, he made it very clear. Like, he would give his awards, his medals that he won in, like, big-time competitions to, like, kids who, like, did good that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
that's really cool.
He made it very clear to me that he cares far more about the community that he serves more than the confirmation that he gets from like the top brass. And I've always carried that with me to the point where in class I would be like a black belt and I would just like still be wearing my blue belt and he'd be like, "Wear your black belt." And I'm like, "Color doesn't matter, man. I'm still me no matter what color I wear." And so I've constantly always fought this whole thing for my whole life of being like, I am in a valid relationship. I don't need confirmation from the state, a ring, or marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I don't need an award to confirm or validate the fact that I am good or at this skill level in order for me to do so. So even when I do get awards from the art world, I still use them as coasters.
Yes. Okay. I will say there is a difference though between like, yes, whatever you do with the award when you get home is one thing. But the thing is, okay, in my mind,
my mom takes them because she knows I'll chop them up and throw them away half the time.
Okay. Admittedly, I'm balking at this because I come from a different background.
Okay,
but
wait, real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You remember when I made the awards for one of your art shows, remember?
For the Blue Line Arts, God, what was that called? Interlude of the Season?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was when I won the
Artist of the Year?
Emerging Artist Award.
Right, you won the Emerging Artist Award.
Yeah. And
then I had been paid and also been asked to make the trophies for that award.
Yes.
Right? I didn't show up till really late.
I remember that, and I was like, so
I wasn't there.
Part of the reason
on purpose.
Part of the reason I feel like, so in my mind, showing up for the award is different than whatever you do with that award at home. To me, what showing up to the award does is it's allowing whoever is giving you this award to honor you. And why I feel like that's different is like if I were to come up to you,
it's like saying your birthday is not for you, it's for other people.
I don't know about that. Like, okay, let me explain myself.
Yeah.
So if someone were to come up to you and say, "This looks awesome, I really like your shoes," or whatever, and you just walked away and didn't even acknowledge them.
I'll say thanks and then I walk away.
But that's the thing, is that I'm saying if you just don't even acknowledge them and walk away, that's not giving that person the chance to like, I don't know how to describe why it's rude, but it's kind of like,
I don't know what they want from me, but they can't have it. I don't know why.
And so if somebody is giving you an award for something, you at least showing up, that doesn't mean that you don't care about your base community. It doesn't mean that you hold this organization in godlike esteem. Yeah. It just means that you are there to receive the compliment. And you are acknowledging that they have chosen you for something. That doesn't mean that's the end all be all. That doesn't mean that's everything. But it's at least saying thank you.
Okay, so let me be honest with you.
Okay.
I have this really toxic behavior.
Okay.
I have this thing that I do. I will completely admit to you, I think I said this before, I'm an antisocial extrovert. Where like, I like very few people. I don't need any. I will close a door if you even give me, I don't care. If someone comes up to me and they like be very friendly to me, my energy is not friendly. I'm just like, what do you want? What do you need? And my mom has pointed this out to me. She's like, that's toxic, son. Right? I remember one scenario in specific where I was at work. Somebody was looking for the bathroom. I was wearing a Star Trek shirt. I was getting off of work. This was before the virus popped out. And he came up to me and he was like, oh, hey, man, I like your shirt. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he goes, Star Trek? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I found this at Goodwill. And he goes, oh, you're wearing a Star Trek shirt. I just thought you liked Star Trek. I was like, no, I don't really like Star Trek. It's just a shirt to wear to work.
You do like Star Trek.
I know, but I don't want none of that, man. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he wants. I don't want to friends with him. It is a toxic behavior. And I don't know if that stems into imposter syndrome where I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care. Sometimes I will actually reject validation and confirmation from other people because I feel like not because I feel like I don't deserve it, but more so because I feel it's unnecessary. Like I don't want it. Like I don't like awards because giving me an award, if every award I got gave me a superpower, I'd be stoked to get awards. But instead, they already tell me something about me that I already, like, they tell me, it's validation for an accomplishment, or it's confirmation for an accomplishment, that I was like, I didn't need this in order for you to, like, I don't, where am I going to put this in my house? I'm good. And, like, I will fully admit, it's a very toxic behavior. I will fully admit it. But am I going to stop? Probably not.
That is interesting though to like, because I feel like the tangented a little bit in terms of like talking about awards, but I do feel it is interesting to think about imposter syndrome relating to
validation from others.
And thinking about the role that awards play in that validation is interesting.
That's how I see it. Is whenever someone gives me an award, it feels like they're trying to validate me for something, and my brain automatically goes, I don't need that validation. But I think that's why I'm so like opposed to it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't need an item to tell me that I'm doing okay or good. I think it's a scale.
Yeah.
I was just wondering where you would fall on that scale. 100% being like, I need other people to tell me I'm doing good in order to believe I'm doing good. And 0% being like, no, I'm doing good without them telling me to.
I think I'm probably at like 30%.
30%?
Yeah. Because like for the most part, I feel confident in my work.
Yes.
I feel like I am doing work that I enjoy, other folks seem to like it, and I feel like it's important.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure that if I stopped getting all positive feedback,
right,
I'm sure I would be like, okay, like, what's up? What's going on with this? And I would probably be concerned.
Change your strategy, maybe.
Yeah. So for the most part, I feel confident in my work. I don't feel like I need other people to like validate me, but I know that dynamic's always going to be there.
Right.
And that there's always going to be where that imposter syndrome comes up. But I just think I'm better at recognizing it for what it is, working past it, and also having other people around me, like you, like my mom, to be like, no, Lindsay, like, you got this, So I think it's changed.
Yeah.
Over the years.
I think for myself, I'm always very worried about turning into like a Kanye state of mind as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. It's like that fear of being like, I'm too sexy.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
All the time. Remember that one time Kanye was like, I'm God. I'm like, if I ever get that far, calm me down.
I'll bring you down. I'll be like, let's rally the troops.
Right.
We gotta go bring Donte back.
Get on the Earth Nation Discord. Let him know he sucks.
we gotta ride to battle.
All the furries from my Discord.
Oh my God, yes.
They come out with trumpets.
That's it for today. Thank you for listening to The Mud Peddlers with Lindsey M. Dillon.
And Donte of Earth Nation.
Want to say hi and see what Donte and I are working on in our studios? Check out the show notes for links to our websites and social media below. You can find me at lindseymdillon.com. That's LINDSEY, M as in monster, DILLON.com. And on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook at Lindsey M. Dillon.
And you can find me at Earth Nation Ceramics. It's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled, but you can also find me on my Facebook fan page and Instagram at the same name at Earth Nation Ceramics.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, or you have a question or topic you'd like us to discuss, take a second to rate and review The Mud Peddlers in Apple Podcasts. It helps our podcast reach new listeners, and we really appreciate the feedback. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.